Just arrived in Canada. Let's have a look. Excited, good, happy, I'm seeing lots. Curious, awesome, not good. Oh, that's scary. I hope that's not true. Anxious, I'm not surprised. A little nervous, I see. Confident, normal, expressive. Who's got the funniest line up there? That's going to be the question. Dimple, yeah, who's got Dimple? Who wrote Dimple? They should get a prize for Dimple. This is normal. I bet you're feeling all of these things. And I will encourage you to think about these things throughout the next 6 weeks of your journey here. You're going to feel all of these things. Sad, scared, anxious, happy, excited, nervous. All of those things will happen to you in the coming days. And that's a normal feeling, and everybody who comes goes through that process. So I'm not surprised to see you do that. I'm glad to see that excited, good, happy are the biggest ones on that sheet. So that's exciting for me. That's great. As you should be. We'll move on. Where are you from? Colombia. You can answer online. Vietnam? Where's your phone? You're not playing. Sorry? Okay. Someone from Earth, but not knowing exactly where? Maybe that's me, because I thought it was still morning. So Fanshawe is one of the most diverse colleges in Canada. We have a large population, obviously, from Canada, around London, Ontario. India, of course, is a giant population, China. But we recruit students from over 130 countries annually. We're pretty proud of that fact. Some of the countries are only ones and twos, a handful of students each year, but we still work actively to make sure that this is one of the most diverse places in all of the college sector, especially in Ontario. We pride ourselves on that work because we know it enriches the experience for each of you and for our domestic population, who you'll be in class with shortly. That's an important part of what we do and how we strategize as an organization. It's part of the strategy, it's part of our philosophy, and we believe strongly in it. So I'm glad to see such a diverse list of names up there today. It's a fairly small intake for us. The May intake's always a little smaller, but still that's a pretty exhaustive list, and I'm pretty proud of that. So congratulations on that journey. I appreciate you making it this far. Moving on, how many flights did it take you to get here? So most of you with 2 flights. I was recently traveling in April. I did India, Pakistan, and Beijing. And it was 13 flights over 15 days. And I will tell you, I understand how you're feeling right now. I'm sure you're exhausted. Even 2 flights from the distances that you've traveled to be here. I have personal experience with that, and I think I'm still recovering, even though it's been almost 3 weeks since I came home. That's okay. If you fall asleep today, we'll pick on you a little bit, okay? We'll probably give you a prize for it. But if you're tired, that's all right. That's normal. It'll go in a few days. But thanks for that journey. That's great. What programs are you starting? So I see a number on the list. A lot of IT programs, PSW, DSW, personal support worker, AIM, which is Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, one of our newest programs. So again, you come from a very broad geographic region around the world, but I think it's also important to know that Fanshawe has such a large, diverse set of programs for you to attend. I suspect most, if not all of you, are enrolled in programs that are PGWP aligned. Yes, we already know about that. I hope so. Those programs, for the most part, I think I'm seeing today, those are all aligned. So that's great. The government of Canada, recently announced a list of programs that were specifically tied to the labor market in Canada. These are programs where they know we're going to have demand for your skills and your labor. I know that was probably stressful as you were applying to Fanshawe College, a lot of uncertainty around all those rules, but knowing that we have that list that's directly tied to the federal government's ideal future state of our Canadian economy is a good thing for each of you. It adds that certainty that we've lacked over the last year. So I'm really happy to see that such a wide list and such a broad, diverse set of students coming into those programs. We're going to take a quick break from that now, and I get the honor to introduce you our college president, if it comes up, Mr. Peter Devlin. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be here. So if you ask me about a word, I would say I'm super excited to be here, super happy to be here, a little bit nervous to be in front of all of you. Fanshawe has, my memory's correct, there's over 700 international students that are starting level 1 this semester. And that is of our population of 4,000 international students. So as Eric said, you have made Fanshawe stronger by bringing your different approaches, your culture, your language, your skills. And so thank you for coming to Fanshawe. Thank you for picking one of those amazing programs delivered by faculty that are just amazing. They are state-of-the-art. They are from the industries that they teach in. We'll also wrap around an incredible level of student service support for all of you to ensure that you are successful. Where is home for you?
Philippines.
The Philippines. And we have a future Falcon here, I see, as well. Yeah. What's her name?
It's Mary.
Mary. Okay, Mary is beautiful with a great big smile, and I love her earrings too. All right, I'll pick on a few others here. Sir, where are you from and what are you studying?
From Nepal. I'm studying AI and machine learning.
Okay, that's, as Eric mentioned, one of our brand new programs. So excellent. You will lead the way and blaze the trail from Nepal. Thank you for being here. All right. How about you, sir? Where are you from?
From Philippines, aerospace engineering.
Okay, so you're studying at our campus at the airport. Excellent. Welcome. Is flying in your blood? How many flights did you take to get here?
16, but I came here.
Okay, all right. Did you say 16 flights?
16
Okay, all right. Okay, just checking. Just checking. All right, there's a good smile. Where are you from?
I'm studying for AI M1.
Okay, all right. Again, a brand new one, right? Terrific. Welcome to Fanshawe. Okay. Hi there. What are you studying?
Customer relationship, marketing, and sales management.
All right, and your name and where are you from?
Amaka from Nigeria.
Amaka, welcome. Glad you're here. All right, I'm going to go and run down the stairs. And I'll bug some people over here now if I could. You're just hoping I don't talk to you, right? Okay, yes, exactly. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Kushi and I'm from India.
Kushi from India, and what are you studying?
Sorry?
What program are you studying?
ISM.
ISM. Welcome, Kushi from India. All right, how about yourself, sir? Where are you from?
I'm from Turkey.
From Turkey, excellent. And what's your name and what are you studying?
My name is Okan. I'm studying business and marketing.
All right, Okan, welcome. Glad you're here. Sir, how about yourself?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm good too. All the better for meeting you. What's your name and what are you studying?
My name is Dikshit Chahal. I'm studying artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Okay, lots of AIM 1 folks here, aren't there? Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll end your punishment shortly here. The man from Earth. That's what your shirt says anyway. Okay, what's your name? What are you studying?
My name is Miguel. I'm studying in supply chain management.
Okay, and where's home?
Colombia.
Colombia. I met a whole bunch of people from Colombia here at the student orientation beforehand. I could tell that there's a group here because they all have lovely painting on their face. Welcome. Okay, I will I will end by saying how excited we are that you are here. One of the other words that was up on the word cloud was curious. I hope you stay curious. I hope you explore all that Fanshawe, all that the region has to offer. Take advantage of the faculty that are here, that are all here to help you grow and learn and be successful. Our student service team is focused, laser focused on being here for you and supporting student success. So to Eric, Christina, and the team, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I wish you good luck on your studies. I hope I am lucky enough to cross paths with you, whether it's at any of our campuses. So my very best wishes to all of you, and thank you for the opportunity to welcome you to Fanshawe College.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks so much. Thanks, Peter. We're just going to share our journey.
I love this video.
Thanks, Ali. Okay, so back to the quiz. Now it's a test about Canada. Get your phones out. I promise there's prizes for this one. We get to produce those videos every year, every intake, and it's always a joy for myself and the team to see those videos be submitted. So thank you for those of you who sent in videos of your journey to Canada. I think it's important to recognize that you've all been on that journey. You've all come from a long ways, and that is just such a great accomplishment for each of you, but also it's a big leap of faith. Right? It's a big commitment to move forward, to take that journey, to leave your family, to leave your home. We're going to talk more about that today. We're also going to talk a little bit about orientating to Canada and what does it mean to find your path here in Canada. It's going to be quite different than where you're from. We're going to talk about some of those differences today. But first, quiz time. Who needs another few minutes or a couple seconds? Who needs their camera? I don't see any hands. Okay. I pushed too fast. Okay, sorry, Ali. Okay, well, this is just the players, right? Yes. So 182 people, 89. Everybody's joining in. Okay, we're going to launch the question. The speedier you answer, the faster it is. Sorry, the faster you answer, the more points you get. That's what I was trying to say. My team's laughing at me. Go ahead. It's auto-jumping, so we need more time.
It's 15 seconds per question, you gotta be fast.
Okay, nobody answered. Oh, there it is. Okay, thank goodness. I thought that was an epic fail there for a moment. You guys are fast typers, thank goodness. Okay, you're right. Ottawa. Ottawa. Lots of people think it's Toronto because that's the biggest city in Canada, but of course Ottawa is where our parliament is. Ottawa is where our prime minister sits. We'll talk about that in a minute. Good. Good start. Oh, I'm not supposed to hit the button. Shoot, I keep hitting the button. Did it tell us who was winning the last one? Okay. We're going to keep track of who's winning. All right, next question, Ali. National sport of Canada. It's a trick question. No, it's not. I thought you were going to. This should be real easy. Real easy. Very good. Very good. I won't hit the button again. All right. Who's in the lead now? 976. Sal 2XD. Okay. Oh, yeah. Keep going, Ollie. That's good. Ready? National animal. National animal of Canada. I will say if you get near any of these animals, you should step away slowly. Don't get close to any of them. No reaching and touching. There's no petting these animals. Oh, it's a good mix. The beaver. We need a photo of a beaver, Ali. If you don't know what a beaver looks like, you got to look that up today before you go home, okay? They're not very big, but they are very strong with their mouth and they chew down trees to make dams, okay? So they're maybe this big, okay? Long tail, big flap on the tail. Anyways, moving on. That's a good question. Oh, size ahead? No, yep, size ahead. Most preferable coffee brand in Canada. That's right, Tim Hortons. See, you're already figuring out Canada. You're already getting most of these answers right. That's good. You'll find lots of Tim Hortons around Canada. I recently visited a Tim Hortons in Delhi. It was not quite the same. It was a little different. What's the most spoken unofficial language in London, Ontario? This is tricky. Even our domestic friends might not know the answer to this one. Arabic. Okay, so a few people lost points on that question. I think Sal might have been knocked off the board there. Sai, not Sal. How'd that go? Oh, yep, new leaderboard. Okay. Can we start again? No. Those of you who read the front page of the website, this should be easy. Otherwise, it's a 33% chance of being right. What's that? Okay. Ali says, can I tell you the answer? I said, no. 1967. So we've been around for a little while. How are we doing? How many more questions? 2 more? Okay. Couple more questions. Trans in front. Next. Didn't we do this? You get bonus points for answering the question right the second time. Oh, we're skipping it. Okay. Ali says no bonus points. Sai's looking to make his comeback. Which of these celebrities were born in London, Ontario? What's that? Oh, don't cheat. That's not quite right. Technically, Justin Bieber was born in Stratford, or was he at the London Hospital? Is it London Hospital? He was born at St. Joseph's Hospital here in London, but he lived in Stratford, which is about a 45-minute drive from London, northeast. All right, Priscilla's right. I'm wrong. I didn't know that the other two were. Okay. It's clear they got the answer right anyways. That's good. Okay. New leaderboard, Byron. Sai's still in it. Holding on tight. Answer quick. Last question. Time to redeem yourselves. What's the national anthem from Canada? What's it called? It's the hardest question. Yeah. The hardest question. Okay. Oh, Canada. That's right. Okay, we're going to do some prizes. I think we should give away some stuff. So who's in front? All right. Oh, it's real close. Rishi. Come on down, Rishi, wherever you are. Please come down. Do you want to go to the next few? Byron, Thomas, Natalia, and Nathalie. No, Nathalie. Come on down. Okay, quiz. Where is my leader, Rishi? Rishi. Hoodie. You get the big prize. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Who's number 2? Get in here. Come pick a prize. Who's number 3? Natalia? No. Oh, Thomas. Thomas. You don't want to come for a prize? Come all the way here and I don't get to give you something for free. Come on. Just don't fall. When Peter ran down the steps, I thought for sure he was going down. Did anybody else think that? Thank you. I believe you. Okay. Go pick a prize. And Natalia, go ahead. And Nathalie, am I saying that right? Come on down. Don't wait. All right. Thank you. Hey, you're welcome. We've got one more coming down. We'll do. No, that's good. That's good. Okay. Oh, back. There you are. Thank you. Okay, so I get to talk to you a little bit about transitioning to Canada. I hope you'll engage in this conversation, maybe ask some questions throughout the day. Christina and Priscilla are going to give me the warning when I'm going overboard because we've got a long list of slides, but I don't have much time. So are we aiming for 1:30 to be done? We're aiming for 2? I bet that clock isn't working over your head. Is it? Oh, it is working. 1. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock. All right, so we're going to talk about transitioning to Canada. Things are a little different, as you may have noticed. How many of you have been here for less than 5 days? Put your hand up. A couple? Not very many. How many of you have been here for less than 10 days? Well, everybody who had their hand up for 5 should have their hand up for 10. So lots of you have been here longer than 10 days? Okay, I'm impressed. That's good. That'll help, right? Help you get settled, find where you're going to live, start to figure out where the grocery store is to get your food. All of these things are important. Of course, we have 2 official languages in Canada, French and English. There are very few French people, I would say, in London, Ontario, so you might run across a few, but for the most part, it's an English-speaking community. But as we pointed out on the quiz, Arabic is second, followed by many other languages. You're going to find people like you who speak your home language, if it's not English, you're going to find lots of those people here in London, Ontario. It's an incredibly diverse community, and I would say it's growing. It's one of the fastest growing communities in Canada. So that's a big plus for us, obviously, because it means more jobs, it means more opportunity, it means more people to work with and connect with in the community who are like-minded and like you, or come from where you come from, whether that's South America, India, China. Those are important cultural inserts into the community. Those people are going to help you figure out your path. And when you need help, they've already done it. They've been here for 6 months or 2 years or 10 years, and they can help you figure out that path. And if I'm standing too close, just give me a kick, okay? We're going to talk about distance here in a minute. Canadians, we have our own personal space bubbles. We'll talk about that. Not space bubbles, but space, personal space. We're known for diversity, of course. Maple syrup is our big claim to fame in terms of food. I'm sorry, I should ask it this way. Who in the room have tried maple syrup prior to arriving in Canada? Okay, there's a few, maybe 3%, okay. Who have tried it since they've come to Canada, maple syrup? Very sweet, of the trees, okay. Maple syrup's our claim to fame. It's worth it. It's worth trying. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to love it, but it is important to try, I would say. The cultural adjustment is normal. That anxiety, nervousness, apprehension, excitement, fear, all of those feelings that we talked about earlier, normal. Okay? You're all on that journey. Everybody in this room, right? That's pretty normal. Right? So if you're feeling unsure, maybe I should get back on the plane and go home, right? Some of you are going to have moments like that.
Yeah, many times.
Many times already? Thanks for being honest. You get a prize. That was a good one. You get a t-shirt just for that good comment. Yeah, should I go home? Everybody's going to have that moment of that feeling, right? If you just be resilient, you hold on for a few more days, it'll get better, I promise. Okay? We all go through that journey. We're going to talk about that journey right now. The honeymoon phase. This adaptation happens every time we get into a new relationship, every time we go to a new school or a new country, every time we get a new job, right? You're all excited about that new job. Then you get there and you're like, oh, the work here, this isn't so fun. And you have this real low moment. Right after you arrive in any of those new things where, well, this isn't exactly what I thought was going to be. Relationships are like that too, right? Everything's exciting when it's new. When it wears in a little bit and you start to realize, okay, we're not perfectly compatible in every single dimension of our lives. We're going to have to stretch. We're going to have to push. Same thing at school.
Yeah, just like a roller coaster ride.
That's right? There's this dip, right? And it takes time to click, 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 click up the other side. She said it was like a roller coaster, right? The down's fast. The up takes time. That's why you got to be patient. You got to be resilient, and you got to know that that's coming over time, right? It takes time for those things to happen. So how can you fix that? Knowing that you're all about to go through that big dip in life, you just came all this way, knowing that you're going to do it, put your hand up if you've got an idea how you can solve for that. The answers aren't on the screen.
My mother is the answer.
Okay, reach out to family and friends. That's a good one. Rely on people you trust. Who else? You already got a t-shirt. I can't give you another one now. I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, who else has got an answer for that? How do you solve for that dip? You know you're going through it, my friend from Turkey.
To get away from comfort zone.
Sorry?
Get away from comfort zone.
Step away from the comfort zone and know that you're going into discomfort. Right. Can somebody help me with the prizes? We should give out some stuff. Maybe these things for these questions? Thanks, Christina. All right. Who else has an idea? Way at the back. Make some new connections. Reach out and engage with the people in this room. That's a great idea. Because you're all going through it, right? Whether you're from Turkey or from Tajikistan or from India, reach out, right? Reach out to people in this room. You're all going through it all at the same time. Is that a hand? Okay, he's got one, and then there's a nice guy here at the back here with his hand waving. We got one here. Go ahead.
So talk with friends who have already been here.
Talk with friends who've maybe already done the journey, come to Canada 6 months ago. They already came to Fanshawe, hopefully. All right. I expect you to recruit me some more for next year, okay? You bring some of your brothers, cousins, friends, all those people. Okay. Christina's going to get lots of steps today up and down there. All right, go ahead. Try and live like a Canadian. Ooh, we're going to figure out what that means. We just sit here and shiver all day long, right? No, it's not that bad. Okay, so Christina, stop here. We got one here. We're going back here behind her. Go ahead.
Writing my thoughts in my diary.
Writing some thoughts in your diary. So some creative thinking, right? Okay, white striped shirt. Christina? Okay, so that's good, right? Reflect on what's happening, right? Put words to it. I think that's an important part of this journey, right? Some psychological reflection on what's going on in your life, right? Putting it to words will help get it out, right? Just clear that way. We're going to take one more. Oh, way at the back, just because I'm going to torment Christina. Way at the back, right there. Yeah. I see blonde hair, I think. Yes. Oh, I'm coming up because I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. Go ahead.
Okay, I learned that there is a confidential and mental health and wellness service.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about that. She gets a prize for sure. And then we're going to come to you because I was pointing at both of you in just a sec. Let me talk about this and then I'm coming to you. So this young lady says to me, I've heard that there are services on campus to support you through this tough time. So mental health, counseling, and support, those things do exist on campus. Right? When you're really struggling and you're really having a hard time, right? And you need somebody to talk to who might not be family and friends, who might want to just be private. There are services on campus, so I'm glad you've got that answer. You need to reach out to those counselors, those advisors. That's part of the fee that you pay to be here. So go get the support, go get the help. That's a great answer. And then one more right here.
Learning new Canadian culture cannot free homesickness.
Sorry, learning Canadian culture
Cannot feel homesickness.
cannot free you from homesickness. You're still going to go through it, right? So recognizing where you're at is an important part in helping you move to the next step of that journey. These are great answers. Yeah. Did you got them all, Christina?
I have another one.
Oh, you got one more, of course. Good.
Learning from experienced people, just like you.
Learning from experienced people like old guys like me. That's not quite what you said, but I'm going to add the old guy part. No, I know you wouldn't. So, okay, so there's people, right? There's resources, there's support, okay? That's an important part. You got to ask for help and you reach out to the connections around you, reach out to your colleagues, reach out to friends, seek services on campus. We're going to talk about all those things, but if I don't move to the next slide, the people at the back of the room are going to do this and tell me to get off stage. Okay, so you're going to go through this adjustment period, right? Learning your studies. How do we do this thing at college? It's different than where you come from. It's practical, right? Less theoretical in training. College is about helping you get jobs. So we're going to teach you a bunch of skills that you're going to take to your job. Do those things and get paid for those things, right? So it's very practical, right? I use the example of welding. We're going to attach two pieces of metal together, right? We're not going to stand at the front of the room and tell you how to touch pieces of metal together. We're going to give you each two pieces of metal and tell you to hook them up, right? Make you practice until they stick over and over and over again. That's an example, but all of your programs are like that. Whether it's marketing or whether it's cybersecurity, we're going to teach you the skills you're going to do in your jobs. That's different than the theoretical space where most of you come from. It's different than universities in Canada, where you might learn conceptually how to deal with that. But here you're going to learn how to hook things together and actually do the work. So it's going to be different. There's going to be some adjustments, right? It's going to feel funny, but you'll be okay. Lots of people have done it before you. And at some point, you'll get comfortable, and that'll be okay, right? And then there'll be something new. We'll push you a little further, all right? You'll get used to all of those difficulties and your time in Canada. Okay, my button's not working. I pushed. Ali, thank you. Canadian culture basics. We're going to talk about some of the things that are going to be different here. We're going to talk about queuing, right? Right, we line up in Canada. You'll see that at the Tim Hortons line when you're waiting for your coffee. We wait for our turn. This is different than lots of places in the world where if there's a spot, you go. That's okay, right? I never knew that example until I went to Delhi. And I sat in the back seat of a car. And then at the traffic light, there's an inch over there, so the car moves over here. And then there's a scooter or a motor scooter that tucks in right beside you. Everybody's finding their path. In Canada here, we drive in between the lines unless we're not doing the right things here in Canada, right? We follow those rules. We're a little bit more stickler to those kind of confining boxes of the law as it relates to driving, excuse me. So you're going to notice those differences now that you're here, right? I would say if you're used to driving in Delhi, give it a few weeks before you try driving in London, Ontario, because you're going to get honked at a lot, I think, because we're not used to driving like you do in Delhi, I've learned. Okay, punctuality is expected. You all showed up here on time for the most part. I think I made it almost on time. I started almost on time, but not quite, right? Here we look at that as a sign of respect. Thanks for being here. If you show up to your classes 10, 20 minutes late, walk in, go to the back of the room, and disturb the class, that's not going to be well appreciated by your faculty members. It's a disruption, right? So we're going to try to be on time. And that's good practice for when you go to work. It's good practice for your job because they're going to expect it. You're not going to show up in Canada 20 minutes late every single day because, well, it takes me that long to get there. No, you got to get up earlier if it takes you that long to get there. It's different than in lots of places around the world where time is much more fluid and flexible. In Canada, it's a little bit more rigid, especially as it relates to your studies. So get up, get ready, go to class, try and be on time, okay? Exceptions happen. Mistakes happen. Sometimes we're late. It's okay. But if you're late every day, to the faculty member at the front of the room, that communicates something, right? Anybody guess what that might communicate? There's a lot of different answers here. What might a faculty member interpret if you're always late to their class? You don't respect them? You don't care? You're not interested in your studies? You're not serious? And one more? Irresponsible, what was back there? Not punctual, yes. Disorganized, those are good words. That's how we might interpret that. It might not be any of those things. It might be, I have a crying Mary at home, and I need to take care of my little baby, right? And that's more important sometimes, and that's okay, right? But that's not necessarily how to be interpreted. That's okay. See, now I said it. Now you're going to cry. You leave. She can stay. It's all right. I'll be noisy and loud, but you. Oh God! Now I scared her. I'm going to have to find a stuffy for the baby. She got scared. I started talking about her. She knew. She knew. She could feel it. Polite communication, casual relationships. We're going to reach out to each other, right? We talked about reaching out to others like us who are going through this, but I think it's also important that you reach out to people not like you. It's easy to hang out with your brothers from India. It's easy to find your friends who you came here, everybody from Ghana. You've built a relationship with my team overseas, and now you're here together. Those are important connections, but you need to spread beyond those connections. You need to engage with people who are different than you, because that will give you practice for what life is like in Canada. Right? Whether it's middle-aged white guys or somebody from a different part of the world, that experience will be helpful to you as you start your careers. Okay? Respect personal space. Okay, we're going to do a test here. The personal space thing. Oh, I skipped ahead. Ali, is there a personal space question? Yeah. Okay. It should pop up on your phone if you're logged in. This one doesn't have the 15-second timer, right? We're just going to answer the question.
It's the same Mentimeter that we've been using.
So same Mentimeter we've been using so far. How much personal space is expected between people in Canada? Right? What would I be used to here? This is different than the personal space in lots of countries. Right? That might be a new term for some people in this room. What do you mean personal space? Some of the cities you come from have more population than our entire country, right? So you think about that. We're used to a lot of personal space here in Canada. John, come forth. If I'm a half a foot away from my face and John's face, this is very close. A foot, I can do that with my friend John. If I'm a foot away, that's about a foot. That would be a pretty close relationship here in Canada for us to be standing there. It's almost awkward, right? Yeah. It's a little bit close. But this, if we were talking, this would be more normal in Canada. right? So even when you're queuing in line, right? We talked about queuing. If you're queuing in line at Tim Hortons and I'm standing next in line behind John, I'm not going to be standing this close to John. Okay? Because John's going to turn around and give me a real funny look, right? What are you doing? Right? So we're going to just give a little space, right? That's different. And I know it's different than where lots of us come from. Okay? So we want to be aware of some of those cultural strange things from Canada. These are different and they're strange. So we didn't have the answer. What else will be successful? Help us be successful. This is a different question for a different part of the time. So I would say the 3 feet mark is probably the answer on this page, right? Unless you're really close to somebody personally, like this is my mom, then you'd be a little closer often. But if we're standing in a crowd of people that are different than us, then the personal space piece is going to be important. Okay. Well, I forget what I'm supposed to talk about here, and Christina's got my notes. Thanks. So May's a really good time to start. That's what it says on my page. I got to figure that out. May's a great time to start because you're about to get accustomed to our weather, right? So it's still pretty cool outside for many of you. It gets much colder than this in the winter, but from here forth, for the next several months, it gets a lot warmer, okay? So there will be days in July and August that are 30, 35 degrees, and that'll be pretty common, be sunny and hot, so that'll be familiar to lots of you, right? And then in the fall, September, October, November, it'll start to get rainy and cold. This time to start in May is good because you missed it from the last winter, and it's starting to get better for us here in Canada. The big thing here, and you'll see international students going down the hill, right? Tubing, this is one of the things we do with our Fanshawe friends. Canadians, you know, we're used to this. That's pretty normal for us, right? We get 4 seasons here in Canada. The idea is to acclimatize to it and to not hide from it, right? Go enjoy it. It's going to be different, right? If you've never seen snow, it's going to be a strange occurrence. It's going to feel funny. It's going to taste funny. It's going to smell different. All of those things are going to be new for lots of you, and that's good. But go enjoy it. Dress appropriately. Dress in layers. Get used to that now. Right? As it's kind of cool today, lots of you had your coats on and you have a sweater underneath and a t-shirt underneath. Those are good things. Dress in layers. I would say the other thing is our climate changes quite drastically. So the other day we got up in the morning, it was probably 18 degrees, so it was fairly warm for us because we're used to the cold. It's fairly warm. We went outside. By the end of the day, it was like 3 degrees. Right? So the big changes in temperature as storms blow through or wind blows through. And so you want to have a jacket with you at this time of year for sure, right? And you want to make sure you're prepared for rain because that could happen at any point in time. I would say typically when it rains here in Ontario, it rains for a short period of time very heavy. There are a few days a year that it rains for a long period of time very light, but for the most part, it rains heavy fairly quick would be compared to the West Coast. In Vancouver, it rains all day, every day for at least a few hours. Here, it's a little bit less likely to be that way. So prep for the winter for sure when that happens. We talked a little bit about exploring other cultures, but I've moved that slide. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the rules, right? There are differences in our laws here in Canada. We're a little stricter as it relates to driving. So maybe don't try that first right away. But these are important things that you start to acclimatize to. And if you're unsure, ask for help, right? Look it up. If you're unsure about the laws in Canada, we don't want anybody breaking the laws and getting in trouble. That's a miserable times for us as team members of the college because we support you through that kind of stuff, but it's hard, right? So we don't want you to do that. Student code of conduct, of course, this is the policies that govern your behavior here in class and the behavior you should expect from your colleagues in class, right? So respect is a big part of that. Right? We treat each other with respect. We're not going to shame each other in the classroom. We're going to support each other's learning. Some of us are here in the journey and some of us are already here. Right? There's some of you here who have master's degrees who still came to Fanshawe for some training for Canada. That's okay. Really intelligent, lots of education, but you're at a different spot than lots of the students who maybe came directly out of high school, right? And then came directly here. So we respect each other in the classroom, we support each other, and we do this journey together to help us be safer. Recycling and litter in Canada. Lots of places around the world, it would be not uncommon to drop that on the ground as you walk through the hallways, or drop that on the ground, somebody else will get it outside. In Canada, it's really frowned upon, right? So we don't leave litter on the ground. or on our tables. We pick up after ourselves. We clean that up. And we also do this thing, recycling, which is also not maybe as common around the world. We recycle aluminum cans. They go in a special bin. We recycle compost, which is food products, right? They go into a special bin that make fertilizer for gardens and other things. So I would say start paying attention to those details, right? And if you're unsure, ask. The people, our colleagues will help you, right? We're happy to help you orientate to those kinds of questions. And they're not silly or dumb questions. They're different, right? We're all going through this different journey together. And then also this piece about safety, right? Your moms and dads sent you here. Your families sent you here. I saw the video of them hugging. Sad to see you go. Nobody wants you to get injured, or your safety is really important, right? So if it feels funny, if you're going into a situation and it feels funny, back away from that situation. You're going to a friend's party and people are drinking, don't get in the car. Don't drive, right? Ask for help to get home. Make sure you're safe. Protect yourselves, right? We don't like those terrible situations, but they happen, and we want to make sure that you're not part of that group, right? The ones that get hurt, right? We've seen these stories on the news. Look out for each other, right? This is different. It's hard. If you've been drinking, which will happen, I'm sure, at some point for lots of you, make sure you've got a plan for getting home safely. Make sure you're doing so with people you trust and you have friendships with, right? Strangers are strangers for a reason, right? Until you get to know them. It takes time. So protect yourselves. We talked about exploring other cultures. This is a great way to learn. Here at the college, it's incredibly diverse. And again, you're all going through this journey. Attend the events from somebody who's different from you, right? We do all kinds of events here on the campus. Reach out, go. Find somebody in class that you hear them going. Say, I'm thinking about going to that. Tell me what it might be about, right? Engage in those cultural opportunities, because Canada is an incredibly diverse community. London, Ontario is incredibly diverse, and those skills are going to help you when you get into the marketplace, right? It's part of the reason Canada brings so many people from around the world is partially because we know it makes us stronger, and we need the population. We're just 40 million, 42 million, I think, not very many. So engage with others. We're going to talk a little bit about academics. Any questions so far? I should have done a prize at some point, but now I forgot what I should ask. Okay. Academics in Canada, like I said, are going to be a little different than what you're used to. Very practical, skill-based learning, right? That's an important part. We're going to develop critical thinking skills and independent learning. That's important. But there's also this team process, right? We're going to ask you to work in teams. And that's not always easy, because we might be in teams together, the three of us here, right? And I might not show up for the meeting, and now you guys are picking up the weight of that work, right? And we got to get through that together. Maybe I had something going on I didn't know it was an emergency. Fine, you're going to be understanding of that, right? But if I'm always late or I never show up, that's going to be pretty frustrating for my guys, right? So how do we cope with that? We do that in classes. Why do we do those things in classes? Because it's practice, right? I work with a wonderful team. You see them surrounded the room here. I work with a wonderful team. And I would say none of the work that I do is done without them, right? I'm just a small piece in a larger puzzle of people who work hard to get you here and to help you adjust and learn. You're going to practice those skills in your classroom in Canada, right? So look at those moments of difficulty when someone's not showing up. That's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to teach you how to have a tough conversation with me, but it's also an opportunity, okay, well, what do we do? How do we cope with the fact that out of 3, we're actually down to 2? How are we going to handle that workload? Does that mean we need to talk to the faculty member? Does that mean we need to redistribute the work? Does that mean that we need to adjust our expectations on what the outcome of that project might be and communicate those expectations to the faculty member ahead of time? Those are good learnings, right? If you're not going to meet your deadline, maybe you're going to be late because Eric didn't pick up the slack, so now we're going to be 2 days late. Can we have an extension, right? Those are good questions for you to practice asking. All right, communication's a key learning in all of your training, right? Because you're going to do that in the workplace, right? When I'm not going to be on time for something, I talked to my colleague Christine. I said, Christine, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to make the deadline that we set. Can we push our meeting back to Wednesday? Most of the time she says yes. Sometimes she gives me a hard time. No? Okay. No. Right, so those skills, everything's a test, but not a test, a training, a learning opportunity. Right, so look at all of those moments as how do I learn from this? It's hard when somebody doesn't show up. That's a good example from those team relationships. You're going to ask questions, engage. Faculty members expect you to show up. They expect you to ask. They expect you to engage. They're not going to have all the answers at the tip of their tongue unless you ask. Right? You're going to prompt a discussion. Sitting back and letting the knowledge just hit you in the face all day is not the way you're going to learn the practical skills. Screwing it up, breaking the weld and the pieces don't connect. That's how you're going to learn. Okay, well that didn't work. What do I need to do different next time? Does that make sense? Anybody saying no? Okay, next time. Okay, academic integrity. This is an important piece for international students. Where you might have gotten away with this in lots of places, ChatGPT, chatbots, translators, those are going to get flagged and you're going to get penalized for using those tools in the wrong ways here at the college. So, what's a wrong way to use the tool for a prize? What's a wrong way to use ChatGPT? Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to point at somebody because I want to make sure I hear it.
If you use ChatGPT to create your own essay.
So if you use ChatGPT and you copy and paste the text and you put it in your essay, you're going to lose points for that, probably fail the assignment, maybe fail the class. Okay? If it writes your assignment for you, you fail. Okay, you get that. Okay, another way that might be perceived as cheating. Lots of you will feel more comfortable in your native language, writing and reading and speaking, than you do in English. And we've seen students, I'm coming to you next, just give me a minute. We've seen students write their essays in Korean, send it through a translator, copy and paste and put that into their assignment. That translation is an AI, and that translation will be flagged for academic integrity issues. You'll be penalized for that. You'll probably fail the assignment, even if you wrote the whole thing in Korean. Right? So you wrote it with your own language. All you did was just translate it. The computer will pick that up, but not recognize that that's what you did. Right? Some faculty members will want you to, if you ask them, that you can put it in Korean, submit it in Korean, and they can do the translation. Some will do that, not many. Most of them will expect you to write it in English. They would rather you write it in English and screw up the grammar, mess up a sentence, make it a little less clear, than use the tools to translate. Does that make sense? My English is not perfect. I sometimes say the wrong thing in the wrong order. I have to repeat myself in a different way. But when I write, sometimes I make a mistake. Sometimes I put the verb in front of the noun when it should be the other way around. And when I'm not paying attention, I don't catch those errors. Okay? Those mistakes make it human. We can fix those later. Don't cheat with the ChatGPT. Okay, so now we're going to ask a harder question. How can you use AI in a way that supports your learning but doesn't cross the threshold of cheating? Who knows the answer to that question? Are you ready back here? No? You got one. Go ahead.
Research.
You can use it for research. Tell me how.
You can use it to ask questions or to let you know where you can find some type of information.
Yep, so you can use it for search functions. You can use it to ask questions to clarify. Right? What does this mean? Right? Give me an example of this in a sentence. Of course you can do that. That's a good answer. John, can you help me with prizes? You run up and down the stairs for me? We're going to do a couple more. I'm running out. Maybe just these three. Just these three. Thanks. Okay, so this gentleman here in the green shirt. If you already got a prize, I want to come to somebody else, if that's okay. Yes, you're ready. I'm ready.
You have to provide references if you're using any tools. You have to tell that I use this tool for this purpose.
Okay, so you can use the tool in some cases, but you reference the fact that you used the tool and how you used it. So the APA guidelines will teach you how to reference that you had used ChatGPT or something else, right? So you use the tools, you reference the tools in your assignment. You're stating that you've used those tools. That's a great example.
And some of the professors will allow you to use all the AI tools, but they need the references.
That's right. Some professors will allow you to use the AI tools, but they're going to want the references. These are things you should clarify before you do it. Ask the question in class. Go talk with your faculty member. Understand where those lines are. Don't just assume you're going to be fine. Because lots of students get written up for academic integrity issues, and that's a miserable outcome if you fail a class. It slows down your journey. It costs a lot of money because you're doing it again. Right? Thanks, John. How else can you use AI in the classroom? Somebody's got an answer. Oh, I've already given you a T-shirt. I'm coming.
I can still give the answer and
Okay,
I'm
all right.
expecting a gift.
We're going to give somebody else the T-shirt. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for better understanding the topic.
Yep, better understanding a topic, similar to my colleague at the back here. Similar, yep.
Yeah. To get the idea.
Sorry? To brainstorm ideas, right? What else? There's other ways. I see a hand, I think. Go ahead. I'm coming. I can't hear you. Sorry?
You can use AI to break down questions.
You can use it to break down the question, yes. Or something that you're reading, right? So let's say you've got a 32-page academic paper you need to read, right? Highlight the top 10 things I need to know from this document. It'll point you to all of the key elements. You still need to read the document, but it'll help your mind pay attention to those key things, right? It's helping you learn. If you use the tools to help you learn, nobody's going to give you a hard time. If you use the tools to do the assignment, it's not going to go so good. Thank you. This lady up here, just with the mug, the pink mug. Thanks. Okay. I think I'm doing okay for time. Okay. Be a good neighbor. What does that mean? Not just the people you live next door to, right? But in terms of cultural norms in Canada, we want you to take care of yourself, right? We don't show up to class having not showered, been to the gym, a little smelly, right? We clean, we get showered every day, we come to class, right? We make sure we're bearable to sit beside, right? So those are some minimum expectations. Right? We take care of ourselves physically to make sure we're ready for those tough moments in the classroom. I know this might seem silly to lots of you, but to some places this is fairly normal. It wouldn't matter, right? We wouldn't care. But in Canada, it matters, right? The other thing about this is about be a good neighbor is about setting the stage for who you want to be, not only in your class, but for your future. Those faculty members come from industry. The gentleman teaching you how to weld that pipe has welded for many, many years in companies and in organizations and is now wanting to come and share that knowledge with a group of students, right? So that person doing that work is an expert. They have contacts. They know the employers. Many of them teach part-time here at the college and work full-time somewhere else. They're the ones who are going to interview you or recommend you for that job. So showing up on time, being respectful, engaging in the material, being prepared for class, read the slides before you get there, all those good habits that you've learned over the years in your studies before you got here, now's the time to execute on those. Because the people in the room are the people who you're going to ask for a reference, who are going to give you stuff, that access to information here in Canada that you don't get unless you participate and engage with them in a certain way. If I show up every day in class late and I'm interpreted from the faculty member as being rude, I don't care, dismissive of the material, not interested, is that person going to recommend me for their employer? Absolutely not, right? But if you show up every day or as many days as you can, that's going to help a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a doubt. Like I can see the statement: your faculty are also industry experts. They are directly connected to your future employer.
Yep.
So like, how much percent is it sure? Like I'm a student.
Yep.
So I'll give my 100% to my studies, and like I will fully dedicate myself. Like how much percent are there chances to get a reference from that?
How many? She's asked. The question is what percentage of faculty members are going to give the reference?
Like how many percent chances are there that my professor will, like, if I prove to be a good student,
Yeah.
like I would do best from my side, being a student.
Yeah. If you're
Theoretically, like I will do my best to get the grades, and I will learn the stuff. And
Yeah.
like how many chances are there
Well,
for me getting the reference?
So when you ask what percent of, when you ask me a question about percentage, I wouldn't have that answer without some statistics behind it. But what I would say is the harder you work, the more engaged you are with your faculty members, the better chances you have, the higher probability that they would recommend.
Students have been given reference.
Yeah, lots of them would have been. I couldn't possibly give you the number. Those are going to be different for each program depending on who your faculty members are. But that connection point is not lost, right? The other thing is the network in the class. Working together as a team, those relationships are going to affect, hey, I just got a job and they're looking for somebody else I know you could be good at, right? Those connections, those referrals, that networking happens in the classroom. So this idea about how you show up is incredibly important to your future. Right? I'm not saying you have to show up in a suit every day, right? But if you show up and your hair's sticking up and you just got out of bed and you're barely paying attention and you're falling asleep at class, that's not presence. That's not showing up, right? Be present. Engage in the material. You've spent a ton of money to be here. You've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy from your families and you to get here. Now's the time to deliver. Right? So I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm just saying, pay attention to those things. It's easy to get up in the morning and feel like, okay, I got class at 9 o'clock, and you roll into class a few minutes late, sit down. You're not going to gain anything from rolling in like that, right? You're going to gain a lot more from being prepared. Okay. The other thing is there's technology that's involved in your studies. Fanshawe Online, FOL, and Web Advisor are two things that you should be intimately connected with. Your classes are all delivered through the content system called FOL, right? Fanshawe Online. You should be in there almost daily, tracking your assignments, putting those things in your schedule, preparing in advance with your lectures. If you're not checking this on the regular, your faculty members can see that. They know who's in there every 24 hours and who hasn't logged in 6 weeks. So when you flunk a test, or you get a mark that's a little low and you ask them, hey, you know, I've been working really hard. They can go check how many times you've logged in. And right, that authenticity is going to be obvious, right? If you're showing up in class every week and you get a little bit lower mark than you should or you want to, can I have a makeup assignment? Can I do something else to bump my GPA? Those are the questions that the people who show up and are prepared and who are present in class, those people get a very different answer than the one who only shows up for the test. Does that make sense? All right. Oh, I'm skipping too fast. Build relationships, ask for help, engage with your colleagues, but your faculty member. All too often students are nervous to ask the teacher, what does that mean? I don't want to look silly in class. I don't want to be the one who doesn't know. Everybody else must know. It's okay to ask the dumb question in class. You've paid for that learning. Go get it. Right? This is about your journey. It's not about the person beside you you're worried that they're going to judge you for asking the silly question. Engage. Don't be nervous about that. Get your dollar's worth. Leverage every resource at the college. Go use everything that's here. Go to the gym. Take the bus. Use the bus pass. You paid for it all. Use every resource. That's the third point. We have Mentimeter that we skipped. What was it about? Ali's telling me I skipped something too quick. What was it? No, it's okay. We'll skip ahead. Right? All too often we have... I should ask this question. How many of you are in a co-op program? I've got co-op or a work part of your program. Lots of you. Okay. When do you think you should start looking for that first co-op job? Right now. Today's the day. Don't wake up the baby. Today's the day. Now's the day. All too often the co-op office, we have a team of people very, very close to here who are responsible for supporting you in the co-op journey. Right? Lots of people show up the day before co-op is supposed to start and they say, okay, well, help me get a co-op. That's not how it happens. Those people are not successful in the co-op program. They don't get co-ops. You have to start that now. Engage in that community. Where are you going to work? Well, let's get a list of organizations that might offer co-ops. Let's start there. Oh, there's a session at the co-op office? Let's go sit in. It's going to be a half hour of my time, but I'm probably going to learn something. Or at least I'm going to meet somebody who might be able to answer a question at some point. Don't wait till the last minute. You've all got a term of study at least right now, 1, maybe 2 terms of study before your co-op. Now's the time to start that journey. Same thing happens if you want a part-time job in Canada. Go connect and start that this week. There's no reason to wait for 3 weeks. Everybody else is moving, looking for those part-time jobs. So now's the time to go get one. Ask questions. Engage with the career office. They can help you prepare with a CV, right? And you're going to go to a career workshop later today if you stick around. You're going to go do that today. They're going to help start you on that journey. But don't wait. Don't wait. Don't think, oh, I got lots of time. You don't. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you land a job. The sooner you get the co-op placement. If you wait and start in 3 weeks, it'll be another 3 weeks later for you to get that job than the person who starts today. Right? Start now. What am I missing here? Transferable skills, that's all in the classroom. Finding a job will take time. Yep. So the finding a job piece or the co-op piece, it will happen. If you do the work, right? It will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. None of us can control when we will land that part-time or full-time job or that work placement. That's a little bit out of our control other than we keep working at it until it happens. But it will happen if you work at it. If you ignore it, it's not going to solve itself. Okay? And for you who are studying, international students who are studying, you've got co-ops. Co-ops are important because they help you gain experience here in Canada. They help you build more relationships in Canada. And they're an important part of your study plan, which you all swore to the government of Canada that you were going to follow. So if you've got a co-op and you are working towards landing that co-op, that's an important part of your study plan. You don't want to skip that if you can avoid it. Some people can't avoid it. They end up losing the co-op. And there's solutions for that, but we don't want you to do that. Go get the co-op, start today. So we talked about specialized versus general skills. We talked about those kind of very skill-based learning here in college, very practical learning versus the theoretical. I've already gone over that. The team wanted me to make sure that you go get your ID. This is also your bus pass. So this is important. This is on the second floor of E building. And when you're lined up here to get this card, you'll notice that the international office is right next door. And when I say the international office, that's where the team and I sit. We spend time there. That's where the immigration officers, not officers, advisors sit. These are the 6 people who are paid with lots of skills as it relates to your immigration process, PGWP. All that happens in the international office, all that advising, all that support. So when you're stuck and you don't know where to go, start by coming to the international office. We can point you in the right direction if it's not with us, but for the most part, it's going to be with us. Does that make sense? Everybody clear about that? Go get your fan card and notice where the international office is. If you come in today, it's going to be pretty busy because it's first week of school, so you might be queued up for a little while. But throughout the term, and as you finish your studies, come back, get support on your PGWP. If you're worried about your expiry date on your visa, if you're worried about something, come in and ask an immigration officer or advisor. They can help. They have the skills and the expertise, and they're dealing with this stuff all day long. Don't wait until the day before it expires to come in and ask for help. Come in and let us know. We can find solutions. If you think you're failing your term or your courses, come in and ask for help. What does this mean for my immigration? What does it mean for my PGWP if I repeat courses? What does it mean if I skip a term and take a break? Ask those questions before you make those choices, because they all have implications. Some better than others, and we can often recommend a plan for you. But don't wait until it's already happening to deal with it. Come in and ask. All right? So right next door to this office, when you find that, you'll find us. Was there a question? No? Okay. What's next? Career management workshop. Okay, remember I told you to start today? This is the first step in part-time jobs, full-time jobs. This is the first step. Okay? I'm not going to go and see if you were all there, but I'm going to trust that you're going to go to this session. Okay? I'm going to leave this on the board.